Hey, pass me a beer.
So,
Look, at least promise me you won't drink. Alcohol always leads to trouble.
what are we talking about tonight anyway?
Hey, who wants to play Drink the Beer?
Right here.
You win!
All right, what do I win?
Another beer!
Just have a cup of coffee.
Beer it is.
Coffee?
Beer.
I'd kill for a beer.
Cheap beer and a sympathetic ear. Step right up.
Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. This is the, of course, Beerded Hops podcast. I am your host, Adam, and up in Green Bay over there, that is Chad. Hi, Chad.
Hello, Adam.
And
From the
good.
semi-frozen tundra of Green Bay, we are unseasonably warm today. I was outside in shorts.
I know. I wore shorts today too. That's craziness. That
40
was
degrees up here.
Yeah. So, in the not so frozen, thawed and moist.
I love that word.
I know most women do.
Yeah, we'll probably lose a bunch of female listeners if there's female listeners listening to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so we're negative because I don't think we had any. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and of course, this is the podcast where we talk about beer. And just real quickly, hopefully, I won't have to do this for much longer because I mean, this is show number 5, though. I guess we should acknowledge that.
Show number 5.
So
we're halfway to a deca.
Okay. Totally lost my train of thought with that dumbass one. Shit.
That'll come back around. That'll come back around here in just a second.
I know.
Come back around to the deca.
I know. So yes, if you're new to the show, thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Please feel free to let us know how great we are on the old Twitters at Beerded Hops. But the way we do this show, we have one beer this week that we are both trying, and we will crack that open here in just a moment. We will take a sip of it, tell you what we think about it, how it looks, how it tastes, how it feels, how glorious it is, hopefully. Then we'll drink halfway through that beer. Once we get to half point, we'll stop talking about whatever it is that we're talking about, and we'll say what we think about it.
We don't even know.
We don't even know. We'll say what we think about it at that point, and then we'll keep talking about whatever. And then we'll keep drinking that beer, and then we will then finish it, be sad for a little bit, and
just for a little bit until there's another beer right around the corner.
Till we go to the fridge and get another one. Yes. And then we will finally rate it on UnTappd. So that's how the show works. Chad, what is our beer today?
Today, we will be sampling a Bell's Two-Hearted Ale.
Dos Hearts. This
is an American IPA. There is a reason that we are sampling this beer tonight, which we'll get into shortly.
Yep, there's a reason we're doing this one tonight, kids.
Yep. But before we do that, Adam, did you have anything interesting in the last week or so?
Wait, can we pour the beer first? Because I really don't want to sit here and stare at it. I want to drink it.
Well, I guess. Okay, good. I mean, hell yes. Jesus, open that thing.
I guess. And of course, I am using, if you listen to the last was episode number 3?
3, I think. The one
the dildo
glass.
The dildo IPA glass. So, and I would like to thank Chad for this glass. Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome, buddy.
Okay, so right away when I cracked it open, yeah, that's an IPA. For shizzle, my nizzle.
Just based on the old stank.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Uh-oh.
I mean, there's definitely Citra in there. I know, right? I wasn't like you. I was smart enough to.
So I just learned something new.
Flowage.
I just learned something new while we're doing this podcast. Yeah, well, I was watching you pour. I was watching you pour.
And wasn't paying attention to your own glass?
And I wasn't paying attention to my own glass.
That's awesome.
That's a big old foul right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Now your desk is all moist.
No, I just let it go on the floor.
Now, also, I should say...
I'll clean that up later.
I mean, we just poured this beer out. I don't want to digress too much from the beautifulness. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because it's gonna happen, Chad. So this is the official major announcement. This will be our first official podcast episode that's gonna be on YouTube.
What's up, YouTubers?
So if you want the link to the YouTube, go to beerdedhops.com. At the very top, there'll be a link. So that's why I can say, see, this is what this beer looks like because you're looking at it on YouTube.
Yeah, you can see mine too as I talk. Looks pretty much the same in the exact same glass since we both have IPA dildo glasses. Mine has a little bigger. Mine has a little bigger head on it because I wasn't freaking paying attention.
So this brewed with 100% Centennial hops is named after the majestic Two-Hearted River in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Bursting with hop aroma, yes, ranging from pine to grapefruit, perfectly balanced with malt backbone. The best is well suited, it says, for adventures everywhere. So Bells is Michigan.
Yes, they're in the city or the town of Comstock, Michigan. We don't need to go into too much detail on Bells this week because we did talk about Bells a couple of weeks ago when I did the barley wine.
Oh, that's right.
From Bells.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to episode 2. I think it was when I sampled the Third Coast Old Ale, which was a barley wine, which was delicious. So we don't really need to talk too much about Bells again, but name of the beer is it's named after the Two-Hearted River in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So not too far. Well, I mean, the UP is not too far from me. I'm only about 10 miles from the UP. I don't know where the Two-Hearted River is, but it is in the UP.
We only had a way to figure out where that was.
And that's probably why there's a trout or a salmon or one of the two.
I just thought because of pollution and the trout had two heads. That's what I thought. No, I'm wrong. Okay. As we just recently started doing, I can't say as we always do because we haven't always done this, but as we are going to be always doing, should we take a drink first and then talk about the week in beer, or? Oh yeah, because I can't sit here and smell this the whole time. I'm taking a drink.
Well,
screw protocol. You can't drink.
I gotta wait a second. So you go ahead and drink. Give me your first impressions, and I'll work on reducing my head.
Huh. Yeah. So obviously, it's hop forward. So you're gonna taste.
Neither of us have had this one.
Never had this one, which is amazing. You'll find that out in a second. We'll tell you why it's kind of amazing. Yeah, this is pretty good. Did you look up the IBUs? The IBU on this?
I did not look up the IBUs, but I know the ABV is 7%.
Well, that's a nice one. I like that.
It has a porn number of 19771.
55. 55 IBU. That's why
porn numbers.
That's why I like it. It's only 55.
Yeah, well, we've had some IPAs recently that were over 100.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
Those are hard to drink.
Those are hard, man. And when I think of an IPA, I think of them usually a little bit more hoppier more bitter than this. That's why, I took that sip and I was expecting more than what I got. So I like this. And the store I went to only had this in a 6-pack, so I have a 6 of this, and I'm glad.
That's good.
I'm glad I like it because otherwise that would suck.
That's good. I was able to buy just the single bottle. But I will. Let's see. I think I can give this a try.
I like that.
Wow. I'm not an IPA guy. I have tried over the last 2 or 3 years to force myself to like IPAs.
Right.
There's a few that I do like. There's a couple that come to mind right away. Green 19 is fantastic from Titletown.
Green 19.
Sit hot. And I really like that one. It's probably a little higher in IBUs than this is because this is really really drinkable.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was confused until I read the ABV and I was like, okay, yeah, good. That's not, shitty bitter. So,
No, not at all. Wow.
um,
I mean, 55 IBUs. There's some hoppy stouts and amber ales that get that high.
right. Which kind of leads me
This
leads
is
me to our next thing. So what we usually do at this point is then talk about what we know what? We're gonna change this because we should do that later. Because we should talk about first why we chose this week.
Yeah, we can come back around to
We'll come back around to usually what we do at this point is talk about what we drank this week, and talk about if there's any notable beers or not notable beers that we had in the week. But we're going to change that for a second because there is a reason we chose this beer today. Actually, we both kind of ran out once we read this news story, and grabbed this beer so that we could talk about it tonight. So
yeah,
why are we doing this, Chad?
I mean, we don't usually figure out which beer we're going to sample until a day or two before, when we both run to our beer stores and we'll just grab whatever sounds good. But an article that came out actually a while back, but we were just made aware of it, that Pliney the Elder, a double IPA that's been the number one beer according to what is it, the what? Homebrewers Association?
Yeah, but it's their magazine. Zymergy.
Yeah. Zymergy magazine, published by the American Homebrewers Association. They do the top beers every year, and Pliney the Elder has been number one for giggly number of years.
For a long time.
9 years, I think. Something like that. 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Well, Pliney was knocked off the top of the rank this year, and the new number one is Bell's Two-Hearted Ale.
Bell's Two-Hearted, and because I've had Pliney before, Chad has not had Pliney, and because
very hard to get.
Number
you can't
one,
get it.
Yeah, number one, you can't get it in the Midwest anyway. But also number two, neither of us had this Bell's, so I was like, well, hell, we better go get that then and check it out and see what knocked off Pliney. Now I should look up. Chad, entertain the kids while I look up Pliney and find out what it is.
Yeah. So Pliney's from Russian River Brewing, but Adam will talk about that a little bit more in a second. But the judging competition has been going on for 15 years, and I think that the Two-Hearted Ale was number 2.
Yeah, and it says here that Pliney has been number one for 8 straight years.
8 years. So yeah, so the first 8 years straight. First time in 9 years, I think, is what I read. That the number 2 beer is now number 1. And we're not sampling both tonight, so we can't do this back to back to give our thoughts on why number 1 or number 2 would take over number 1. They're not even really in the same category because Pliny's is a double.
Right.
IPA.
And the list? I did pull up the list. I was at the liquor store today, grabbing the Two-Headed. I
said liquor and grabbing.
My favorite words. I looked at the list because I was going to see what else might be at the store. But just to give you the top 5 real quickly, it's Bell's Two-Hearted Ale, Pliney the Elder, number 2, Founder's Breakfast Stout, very good, number 3.
Hey, hold on a second. Start that list over because you sound like a robot for a second there. That's what it sounded like.
Bell's Two-Hearted Ale, number 1, Russian River, Pliney the Elder, number 2, Founder's Breakfast Stout, which is very good, number 3. Three Floyd's Zombie Dust, which I do have in the garage, just waiting to see if you can pick it up and we can review that one together, is number 4, and the Bell's Hop Slam is number 5. So now one reason I can tell you why I think Two-Hearted Ale has taken over the top spot, and it comes really
Give
comes down to the IBUs. Pliney the Elder has an 8% ABV with 100 IBUs, whereas we're sitting at a 50. It's, to me, it is more drinkable. It's more drinkable when you're sitting at 50 than 100. So
Absolutely. I had an IPA a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was Hop Stupid from Lagunitas. Did I say that right?
nope, you did not. This is Lagunitas.
Lagunitas. God,
Jeez, come on.
why can't I say that right?
Who the hell's Lagunitas? Go ahead.
Lagunitas. Yeah, they're Hop Stupid that I dumped because it's a 106 in the IBU category, and I couldn't take it.
106. Yeah, I mean, it was several years ago that I had Pliney when I was out there at the brewery. Number one, the brewery in that town, where you go to get the beer and drink the beer, is not the actual brewery. It's just a restaurant, basically. I would say there in town, and the brewery is outside of town.
I've seen that picture of people standing outside.
Oh, their food is so good. If you don't like beer, go for their food, because their food is they have really good food. So I can't, honestly, that's why I was trying to get some connections that I have out in California to send me some Pliney, because it'll probably be later this year before I ever get out there. But I would say, this took that top spot because, like we've talked about before, the waning popularity of IPAs, that IPAs are on the downswing. And so
seems that way.
Yeah. And so while, yes, Two Hearted is still an IPA, it's not as bitter an IPA. So to me, that goes along with what we've been kind of saying. That IPAs are kind of on the down curve now. This is still popular because people still want that hoppy bitterness, but they don't want, they still want to be able to feel their tongue when they're done.
I've never really been able to drink 2 IPAs in a row. I think I could probably just grab another one of these and drink it right afterwards.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, I'm gonna drink this pretty fast. We're gonna call a timeout, and I'm gonna get a second one because it's good. And so, having said that, I am actually going to give this a 4 right out the bat. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little harder on IPAs than most other types. There is one 5 on my list. Well, it's a 4.75 that should be a 5. It's one of them that should be, that's not, that I realized after I drank it the first time that it was so good at 4.75, and I've had it many, many times since then, is Green 19. That's what's my favorite IPA. This one, I'm going to give this dead air. I'm having a really hard time figuring out where I should.
Green 19 is a 55 IBU, by the way.
Yeah, because it's very, very drinkable. It's delicious.
It's 6.5 ABV, 55 IBU.
Okay. Where did you rate it?
I went 4, man.
4.
I'm
right there with you.
I'm surprised at how much I like this. I honestly was expecting to have to lie my ass off on this podcast tonight, and and kind of shield how much I didn't want to drink the IPA. And I was actually like, I have 5 more of these sons of bitches I gotta drink. Gotta either pawn off on a neighbor or something. But I'm pleasantly surprised. So
yeah, I'm gonna go 4 as well. And I one of these days we're gonna get a beer we don't like, because I feel like we've rated beers really high in the first 5 episodes.
There's an episode coming where we grab shitty beers.
Yes. Yeah, a little plug for a future episode coming up. It's going to be the shitty beer episode.
The shitty beer episode. Where I don't know how we're gonna.
And we do have one coming. We do also have one coming up that, if we could break the scale of 5, I think we'll be able to break the scale of 5.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, I don't know, maybe you can nail it down, but when the finish of it, there's something on the back of my tongue, It's a sweetness. And I don't really know what it is. But I like it.
Didn't Jessica Simpson say that one time? I don't know what that is, but I like it.
You and your Jessica Simpson knowledge.
I know, me and my little
outdo mine.
My teeny bopper references.
Is this really Chicken of the Sea?
I think it was for a TV commercial for like when 1080p or 1080i came out way back then.
All right, focus, Chad.
He was like, I don't know what that is, but I like it. I don't know. I don't know why I remember shit like that.
I don't know. It's a waste of space in your brain. So yes, the whole reason we did this, we picked this beer for today, is because it's now raining, number one, and also I think another reason is because it is easy to get. Like it's much more widely available than Pliney.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bell's has a very good distribution.
In Pliney, I mean, even some friends of mine that live out in California, in San Francisco, in the Bay Area where Pliney is, I was talking to them today, and you can't go to the liquor store and get Pliney the Elder. You have to go to Russian River to get Pliney the Elder. So even in their own state, they're not distributed very well, and I think that's what kind of made them the unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, a rarefied beer like that is that becomes very difficult to get around the country. I think that, well, when you go to a brewery like that and you're like, oh my God, I'm having this super rare beer that I can only get here. People are going to love it, and they're going to they're going to rate.
Yeah, that amps up your rating.
Rate it higher.
You think highly of it, and that's something that haven't talked about here before, but I think I kind of mentioned it to you when we were talking one day. Is just in your ratings, a lot more goes in the rating than the taste. Your environment, what's going on that day, what it is. So like, when I look back and I look back on my how I rated Pliney the Elder, I think I rated it 4.5. And to me today, thinking I rated a double IPA 4.5. No way.
Yeah, there's no way I do that either.
There's no way I do that. And so it had to be, I was there at Russian River. I had just stood in line in the summer in San Francisco Bay Area for 45 minutes. It was hot as fuck.
Yeah, you were excited, and
the food was awesome. I'd already been to 3 other breweries. I was pretty much tipsy as it was. I walked out with 2 cases of Pliney, a T-shirt, a hat, a couple growlers.
You were all about it. All about it.
Yeah. So it's top ranked now. Bell's Two Hearted Ale is top ranked. I gave you the top 5. I'm gonna give you the top 10 now. Tied for 6th place. There's 2 of them. Founders KBS, which I do want to try. You've had that, I assume.
I have not had it. No.
Oh, you haven't really? Maybe you gotta try and get that one. The Alchemist Heady Topper. Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA. I've seen that. I have not had that. Sierra Nevada Celebration. I have had that, and then Ballast Point.
I've had that one as well.
Ballast Point Sculpin IPA. So look, IPAs are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I assume Hop Slam's an IPA. The Bell's Hop Slam.
I don't know, but I'm sure that it is just based on the name.
Yeah, and Heady Topper, I would also be missing. So we're at least 6 or 7 of the top 10. Are IPAs.
I'd love to see the Founders Breakfast Stout way up there.
Yes,
the regular breakfast stout.
The regular breakfast stout. Yeah. I'm trying to go down through this real quick. Number 17 is Goose Island's Bourbon County brand stout. So that's a kind of they're owned by InBev, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else is on here? Dogfish 90 Minute is tied with 19 Lagunitas. And I like the Stone. Well, that's not the right one. There's one of the Stone IPAs I like.
Well, they're just regular Lagunitas IPA. I think that's just their traditional.
Right. That's a good one.
It's on the label, it just says IPA in big letters.
Number 27 is Pliney the Younger, and that's a very limited release. That one, there are lines literally for hours outside of Russian River, and there are bars all over the San Francisco Bay Area which will have a single keg, and sometimes not even a full keg. It'll be a pony keg, and people will line up to get Pliney the Younger. I've never had that because it is such limited release. When I've been out there, the Younger has not been available. Number 43. Do you see that new Glarus? Made 43, the Belgian red.
You skipped over one that I want to mention, the Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. That's a 5 on my UnTappd list. I love that. That's
what
actually
was that at?
30, tied for 38.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I think that's a 5 on my list, and I just added another porter today. That's a new 5 on my list. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
And Three Floyd's Alpha King is on there. I don't understand why that's on there. I don't understand why Zombie Dust is on there, but that's for another day. On this list, also we have top breweries. Bell is number 1 for top breweries.
Well,
Founders is 2 and Russian River is 3. Trying to see if New Glarus comes in.
That's interesting. You've got the top 2 are fairly well distributed, at least in the Great Lakes Midwest area. Then Russian River, of course, is all in California.
Well, yeah. So,
but it's voted on by the members of the AHA. So,
right, the homebrewers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we have
there. I'm sure there's some criteria that they're voting on, but
yeah, I would hope so.
I've
thought about joining this.
Ways out.
I've thought about becoming a member, but I'm just too cheap. I don't want to drop the cash to do it. But so as far as the breweries are concerned, so New Glarus is 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Great Lakes is 19th. Dogfish is 8. Stone is 5. Sierra Nevada is 4. What kind of surprised me, and what are your what are your feelings on this? And actually, I'm sorry, but Three Floyds is 12. Come on, that's
and an InBev is 13th.
That's 13th.
Yeah,
Boulevard is InBev.
Boulevard
is 13th. What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind.
25 is.
Edit that.
You're talking about 13th. 25 is though. That's what I was going to ask you about. Goose Island.
I was thinking I had that ballast point the other day. I was thinking of the B and Boulevard. I was thinking of ballast. Never
Goose
mind.
Island,
Chop, edit.
I'm not editing that out.
You are.
No, not at all. Goose Island is 25.
Ballast Point is number 10. They're
Okay.
in InBev.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Right? InBev. It's a big one. I don't know if they're InBev, but maybe it's Constellation or something. But
jeez, now we got to go to the internet.
Sorry,
I keep it. Lawyers don't come and sue us because we claim they were InBev, and nobody's going to sue us because nobody's going to hear us. But okay. So, what are your thoughts on an InBev being 25?
I don't like it.
Okay, you could go on a little bit longer because I'm typing on my phone. You can help me out.
I don't like it, but that doesn't really mean anything because I don't know what the criteria is.
Ballast Point is a Constellation brand.
Okay. So Constellation they're huge, the number 1 importer of beers in the United States, but they own a lot of big, they own a lot of smaller breweries, but they're the number 1 importer. Multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company.
Are they Heineken?
No, I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, so yes, Goose Island. The thing that kind of surprises me, and even when you look like online and on Twitter, and I'm in the Chicago area specific also because I see this, is there's a lot of the beer geeks and the beer heads, whatever you want to call them, that still flock to Goose Island and will stand in line at Goose Island downtown Chicago when they do a special release like the Bourbon County, and they're an InBev, but these same people, wouldn't go out and get a Bud Light,
right?
So there's something about the Goose Island. Maybe it's so good. I've had Goose Island 312 and one of their IPAs, but there's something about Goose Island that's just some of the beer guys, especially Chicago guys, still go to, and it could be because they were around before they were.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part. I mean, yeah, they started out small as an independent, but I don't. call them a sellout. I'll call them a sellout. They're a sellout.
You did.
I'm sure that's. I mean, I've had their beers. I've had the IPA. That's probably the most common one around here. It's good, but I'm not going to buy it again.
Yeah.
Stick my nose up at it.
Yeah. So that was very interesting. So the best beers of 2017.
Nice. Nice.
So what beers are you halfway through yet?
Yep. I am halfway through.
It's kind of hard to tell with the bottom of the glass.
I know.
Whether I'm halfway
Yeah,
or
it's.
not.
And I'm about an inch from the dildo.
My goodness, you know, folks. If I had a nickel for every time I heard him say something like that, I'd be a rich man. What you doing, Chad? I'm about an inch away from the dildo.
If I could just get that last inch.
I
don't even know what that means, but it's funny.
Fill in the blanks for yourself, people. So what do you think? Halfway, are we still sitting at a 4? You going down? To me, it's holding steady. Like the flavors really haven't changed a lot for me. So,
oh, yep, it's good. I'll stick at a 4, halfway.
Yeah, I'm staying at a 4. Staying at a 4. So let's jump into then. What did you have this week, Chad? Was there anything on your UnTappd list this week that you were just like shitty and you dumped it? Because last time you had 2 dumps, right?
I did have 2 dumps last week.
Yeah. What'd you have this week?
I didn't have any dumps this week.
Of beer.
I had yeah, I'm fairly regular otherwise. I've tried a lot of different beers though in the last week or so. I think I've had 12. So in the interest of time, I won't talk about every single one, but I will name.
It's been a rough week for you, huh? Because you had 12 beers.
It's been
You've had more than 12
well,
beers.
I'm getting ready to go do 2 weeks of travel here, so I'm just
you're getting that liver ready.
Getting ready. So I had a 3 Sheep's water slides, which was pretty good. I had another sour in the last week that I thought was really good from Southern Tier, blueberry tart.
Oh, I forgot about
I gave that a 3.75. Yeah, I'll buy that again. That was really good. I did have one that I almost dumped. And we were big on Oso's Night Rain a couple weeks ago. But I had their Decadank IPA Imperial Double. I drank it all, but I only gave it a 2. I just did not like it.
Wait for powering through on that one.
Yep. And then I did a little fruity. I had Apple Fest, Apple Weissen from Pearl Street there in Wisconsin. That was good enough to drink again at a 3. I did a chocolate orange from Southern Tier. Very good, 4.25. My Ballast Point, I gave. This is another one that I almost dumped out, but I powered through. It took me an hour. In fact, we were
talking. We were Marco Poloing.
Polo. I was drinking this Sunday. Sea Rose, which is a pale wheat ale, but it was cherry flavored. It tasted like cherry Budweiser to me. I thought it was disgusting.
Cherry Budweiser. That's not like a limeade or a lime. Bud Lime.
Oh no, it wasn't quite that sweet. It just was not. It wasn't good. This next one, the Bikini Blonde Lager from Maui Brewing. That's one that I could put in my refrigerator all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just Facebooked a guy today on the Beerded Hops page. I don't know if it was the podcast page or the regular page, but he was in El Paso. He was asking about drinking craft brew being expensive and what could I drink as a regular everyday beer that's not one of the cheaper, Bud Lights, Miller Lights kind of thing, but staying craft. And I gave him the Oscars little yellow pills, which is very good. Yep. But this Maui Brewing Bikini Blonde Lager, fantastic. I love that one.
That was a really good plug very quickly there, Chad, for the Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. Of course, if you go to beerdedhops.com, links are all on the top. But then we have a Facebook group that you can join up and just talk about beer, ask questions about beer, give us information about beer, stuff like that. So yeah. Anything else you have?
Yeah, I've got a few more. Run through them real quick. Ale Asylum 12-ounce curl is okay. When I say okay, it means it's going to be somewhere around 3, and I would drink it again. Out of Bounds Stout from Avery, they're in Colorado. That was a little better than good. I'm a stout and porter guy, so that was really good. 8-Ball Stout from Lost Coast in California. Then I had a Bonfire Brown Ale from Saugatuck Brewing in Michigan. That was really good. And then my newest 5, first time I've ever had Anchor Porter. I had it last night. Oh man,
I should have picked that up today.
Oh, so good.
I forgot.
That was a really, really good beer. And then I just checked in today, Wisco Disco from Stillmank Brewing right here in Green Bay. I can't believe I've never checked this one in before because I've had it. I bet I've had it 20 or 30 times. It's been in my refrigerator.
Yeah, that happens.
Many, many times.
That happens with the check-ins.
Yeah. So I bought a 4-pack of that today. First time I've ever checked it in, but I've had it a bunch. That's a 4. That's a really good one. Stillmank is an interesting brewery here in Green Bay. They've got some very strange beers. They've got a really good porter called Perky Porter, but they've got some weird ones. It's worth going to do a beer flight there to check out what they've got. But that's my beer list from the last week from the UnTappd check-in list. How about you?
Very nice. I did not as good a week as you had. I had 7. I had, of course, the first one I had was a New Glarus Spotted Cow. That's always in my fridge. I like that one. But then I had one I did not like was Odd Side Ales Java Chip Mint Stout. And it was just not good. I didn't.
Is that who's the brewer on that?
Odd Side Ales.
Odd Side Ales.
I didn't pour it. I gave it a 2.5. I probably should go back and change that to about a 2 because it was not good at all. It just wasn't.
You drank it but didn't dump it. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It probably took me more than an hour to get through. And I probably did dump the last quarter of it of the glass. The next one I did like Maplewood Brewing out of Chicago. Brownie Points. That was a good one. I give that a 4.25.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I would like to pick that one up again. And I honestly had never even I'd seen this can and their cans are distinct. But I never picked one up before, so I'd like to try some of their other stuff as well.
And that was in
ale.
That was in I remember it was in a can. Was it a pint can, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, I love the pint. The pint can. I love it. Actually, I read an article today about cans and versus bottles, but that's the subject for another time.
Oh, we're talking about. You say cans. I never know what you're talking about. Also, I had
Look at
Rocky's Revenge Bourbon Brown by how do you spell that?
How do you smell that? Did you say how do you smell that?
How do you pronounce it? Tyranina? Is that how you pronounce that?
Tyrannina.
All right. I gave that a 4. That was good. Then had another Tyrannina, the Sheep Shagger Scotch Ale. I'm starting to like Scotch ales. Ever since I had one a couple weeks ago on the show here. Then one I always usually have is the Leinenkugel Snowdrift Vanilla Porter too. I had that as well.
Do you like shagging sheep?
Take it or leave it. Whatever, depends on the mood. Last night my wife and I went to a local brewery called Tighthead. It's one of my favorite. I really like the place. Everybody there is really cool. And so I only checked in 3 beers there because it's the only 3 of theirs that I hadn't already had.
I wondered about that because you didn't have much action on UnTappd last night.
Yeah, I'd been there before. We did a flight that had 10 beers on it, I think.
Yeah, it was a nice big flight. I couldn't believe how big that was actually.
Yeah, and the 5 ounces in that flight. So on that flight, there were 2 that I hadn't had, and then there's a third one, which is the reason I went last night. I wanted to try this third one called the Hat Trick Triple, and that was good. That was I gave that a 4. That was one of their new ones that I had not had. It's Belgium Triple. It was.
That's one of their newest ones, right?
Yeah, it's one of their newer ones.
Yeah.
That was good. It had it was definitely had a sweeter flavor to it. It was only 25 IBU. So it was a good drink, very good drink. I think I can't remember the ABV on that. I want to say it was up there. It's a triple, so yeah, 8.9. So feeling tingly. That was nice. I also had their Bear's Choice. Their Bear's Choice, I gave that a 4 as well. Bear's Choice is an IPA, an American IPA, but that's an IPA with 75. That's when I texted you a picture of it.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
That was one that I was like, oh wait, I like this. But now I like this one because it's even less bitter. But the Bear's Choice is very, very tasty. And then I had the Mundeleiner Lager. And
Mundeleiner. Isn't there a road in Chicago called Mundelein Road?
well, the brewery's in Mundelein, Illinois.
Oh, that's what it is. I knew there was something to do with that.
Yeah. So that's in Mundelein, Illinois. So that's a 5% 35 with a pale lager. And I give that one a 3.5. Still good though. It was fun. They had they didn't have any live music going on, but they, it's one of those places where you can bring food in with you. So there's like a group of guys right next to us that had brought in Chinese. And then once they were done eating Chinese, they pulled out cards and were playing poker. While hanging out at the brewery. So that was cool. So that's another one. Like, is the environment changing? My rating.
Rating, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to get a couple of cans of those, especially like the one, the lager that I rated a little bit lower, and even the Hat Trick. Get those at home and see what I think when I'm not at the brewery. So that was very, very cool.
Yeah, it looked like a cool place. Adam and I and several of our friends are on this app called Marco Polo, where it's basically video texting. And while he was there last night, video of the flight that he had, a little bit of a view around the brewery. So I mean, that little app is pretty awesome. But it was really cool to see the brewery as you were experiencing it in real time.
Yeah, that was
Looks like a cool place.
Fun. Yeah. What are we looking at next here? Oh, this one. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, do you want to? Which one are you going for?
The shower beer.
Oh, okay. Skipping over Canada. Who needs the Canucks?
What was Canada? Oh yeah, I did skip over that. That's okay.
Let's come back to that though, because I do want to. That's a real quick story I want to talk about. It's pretty awesome. You Canadians are actually pretty cool.
I need to figure out how I can get a hold of this. But
yeah, so what's going on in the shower there?
Wow. Look, that's a loaded question, sir, and this is not that type of show. There is, according to, and once again, this is one of those websites that I know.
The story just cracks me up.
Munchies.vice.com. Headline on the story is there's finally a beer made specifically for drinking in the shower. Now, Chad, have you ever had a beer in the shower?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I know. Me too.
Yeah, I drink coffee in the shower and I've had beer in the shower.
I never take coffee. It's always beer. It's a 10% ABV shower beer. Well, damn. From it's Swedish. So I may not get it. From a Swedish craft brewery, Peng Peng. And it just gets better. Oh, man.
Peng Peng.
And the creative agency, Snask. Wait a minute, did you see this? I didn't see this till just now. It can also be used as a conditioner.
I know.
I didn't see that.
That's why this story is hilarious.
Oh, so going on with the story, there's nothing quite like having in the shower at the end of a long week and cracking open a beer, or just in the morning, to simultaneously pregame and freshen up before the night out. Whether it's because you're amped to get started, who cares about that crap? 12 ounce of beer during the 6-minute shower. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh my god, I can't stop laughing because
This
all
is
I can
funny.
think of is taking this bottle of beer, cleaning out a conditioner bottle, like really cleaning it out. Obviously, you don't want to drink any conditioner, but pour this beer into a clean conditioner bottle. Shower with your significant other. Don't tell her
And then just start drinking it.
or him or her, that the beer is in the conditioner bottle. Put it in your hair, just work it in real nice, and then just start chugging that conditioner bottle.
So I guess the shower beer was released last month. It was meant to be a one-time only offering, but there was overwhelming demand. They did a second run. And they're actually thinking about making it a permanent thing. Okay, attention all U.S. breweries, specifically Midwest breweries where I can actually get it. Please,
We got to find it. This is too good.
make this happen. I don't
Hang, if you're listening.
I don't have any hair on my head, so I will use it as a beard wash.
There you go.
But this would be there is not really a mention of how good it tastes. The beer is heavily hopped with citrus.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say there is a mention there about his profile, and the one word in this sentence that's interesting about the profile is
Go ahead. I don't know what
soapy.
you're talking about. Oh yeah. So there's
It's a soapy profile.
there is a quote here from this dude says so the quote is, I let the shower beer sit longer in the primary fermenter before dry hopping and cold crushing it compared to other pang beers. This lets it develop a soapy flavor. Oh geez. That is in some beers is considered an off flavor, but it's just on point with the shower beer. The beer is heavily hopped with citra hops and has a citrusy, soapy, and somewhat herbal profile.
Yeah, so I wonder how this would be classified. If this would be, it's citrusy, it was an IPA, it's soapy, is it sour? I don't know where you go with this one.
I know what he's talking about. I've definitely had typically on IPAs a soap flavor. I've tasted it. I know what he's talking about.
I probably have too. And actually, I posted an article last week, I guess it was, about the Saison and what I couldn't put my finger on about what it was I didn't like about it. I wonder if I should drink another one. I wonder if that has a soapy flavor to me.
Yep. So let's head north of the border. What we want to do to talk about the Canucks?
Okay, so moving on. This one is just I just thought this was hilarious. We don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but there's a bar up in Canada. Let's see, where is it at? the Prairie Firehouse, which I don't think they say where it is, or do they?
It's like Manitoba. The Prairie Firehouse, in an effort to get people to drink craft beer or independent beers, they are pricing their Bud Light bottles at $15. $15 US. $15 for a Bud Light bottle, and they get customers that are like, "What the hell? Is that?" They'll order a Bud Light without checking the price, and then get their bill and say, "What's going on with this?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's how much it is. See, it's right there on the menu, $15." Yeah. And then they have local beers by local entrepreneurs selling from $6 to $10.
Right.
I love it.
So I just thought this was just a real quick, funny story. Way to go, guys! $15 for a Bud Light. I love it. Keep doing it.
This quote is really good. Why would you buy a beer with 24 ingredients for $15 over a beer with 5 ingredients for $6?
I read that too, and I've actually never looked into that. I didn't realize that Bud Light had 24 ingredients. So
really? Is that accurate?
I don't know. I was going to look it up. I mean, it's quoted. Somebody said it. It's on the drinksbusiness.com. But I mean, I don't know. 24 ingredients seems awfully high, but I wouldn't put it past them.
You keep the kids busy while I look it up.
So the oh, hold on a second. I just clicked.
You suck at this keeping them busy.
No, I just clicked out of it right when you said keep the kids busy. You got to give me a little better warning here, buddy. So the idea of this, the $15 bottle of Bud Light came from another restaurant where chefs worked, where they had a bottle of Bud Light that sold for $25 US or 15 lira, maybe, or 50. I don't know what the other price in the parentheses is there. I think it's lira. That doesn't make sense though for Canada, does it?
No, it doesn't make sense for Canada. I think it's a pound.
Right. 15 pounds. Anyway, Bud Light sold for $25 at another restaurant. So he came to work for this bar and brought up the idea, hey, let's see if we can sell more independent and or craft beers by pricing the Bud Light at $15. There's a little picture of their menu. They've got Guinness in there. I mean, and Stella Artois. So Guinness is $7, Stella's $6.50. The Sasquatch Stout $7, but right there on the bottom of the menu, Bud Light $15.
I love it. That is.
I do too. Really I think our local American bars should all do that to promote the independence.
Oh man,
good stuff. Good stuff.
Did you want to make the announcement that's on line 6 there? In that sheet?
Line 6. Oh my God. This is
tell the full story as well.
This is unbelievable. I can't believe this actually happened. So one of the most sought after beers of 2017 is the Founders CBS, the Canadian Breakfast Stout.
Uh-huh.
We have both been looking for it since November, since it came out. Every store had lines waiting around the corner to buy it. It's tapped out at most of the bars that carried it on tap. You just can't get it. And
it's so popular because this is the last year Founders are going to do it.
As far as we know.
But currently what they're saying, yes.
Right. The last time they bottled it was 2011. They bottled it in 2017 as the 6th release in their barrel aged series, and it came out November 11th, 17, and we're just so bummed. I've watched so many reviews on YouTube. Massive beer reviews guy Matt, he reviewed it, did a great job. Founders just sent him a bottle just so he could review it, which I think is awesome.
Don't forget about us, Founders. Hi.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. Founders, if you want to send us something, we'll review it too. But I went to Ridgeview Liquors, which is a great little craft beer store. They've got a great selection of liquor. I've been in there several times. Asked a few people about it just in passing, and it's usually nope, don't have any. But I went in there during the day. I think on Monday this week.
Was it Monday or Tuesday? One of those, yeah.
Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was. And I talked to a new guy. Now, I don't think he's new to the store, but just somebody I haven't talked to before. Walked in, I'm looking around. He's like, is there anything I can help you with? I said, well, is there any chance you would happen to have a Founders CBS laying around in the office collecting dust or anything? He kind of laughed. He goes like, nah, we haven't had that stuff since it came out. And he says, in fact, I didn't even save a bottle for myself. So I'm like, all right, no problem. So I go back to looking around. I'm filling my variety 6-pack that I'm there to get. I went there to get the 200 ale for tonight. And I think I had 3 beers in my 6-pack, and he taps me on the shoulder. Well, somebody taps me on the shoulder. I didn't know it was him. Somebody taps me on the shoulder. I look over, and he's holding a bottle of Founders CBS, and it was glowing. Had a halo around it.
You just started making out with him. You shoved your tongue so far down his throat.
I did. Adam.
You took him right there in the middle of the liquor store.
How do you know I was in the middle of the store?
You went back because you're not discreet. You're not going to take him back to the cooler and take him. You're going to do him right there. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, Brittany, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
That's how I paid
no,
for it.
he says, I just happened to think about this while you were looking around. I might have a bottle of this in the office. So we went back, and sure enough, he had a bottle in the office. It was dusty.
Yes.
And I said a few choice words in a very nice fashion. And I said, are you serious, with a few other words added? And he's like, yeah, just remember me when you buy your beer.
Okay.
Meaning come back to my store.
Done.
Which I will, absolutely. Ridgeview Liquors, you guys, you made my year so far as beer goes. We have a bottle of Founders CBS, which we will be reviewing in an upcoming episode. I'm doing my best not to open it, because I'm going to take it to Chicago.
Better not, you son of a bitch.
I am going to take it to Chicago, and I am going to share it with Adam. That's the plan.
It's going to be probably the first weekend in February. Chad's going to be traveling. So we won't be able to really do anything until then. So
right. Yeah. The next couple of weeks I'm on business. So when I get back, I'll be making a trip down to Chicago. Brittany and I are going to go down there for the weekend, and we're going to do the first episode of Beerded Hops together in the same studio.
Yep.
And CBS is going to be our beer of choice.
And we get to crack the red ale that we brewed.
Yeah, the red ale that we
back at
the
beginning of December.
Yeah, 1st of December. So yeah, we got a couple
shows
we'll get out of that weekend. First homebrew that we've done kind of together, and the CBS, which I just can't wait for.
That's going to be good. Going to be exciting. So I am done.
Do you need a pause to go get another one?
Oh, that's tempting. That's very, very tempting. Yeah. What tier are you keeping it at 4? Or are you going up?
I'm going down 375.
You're going down. Why would you?
Just because I'm not an IPA guy. I don't like I don't like everything. All the IPAs I drink now are judged on Green 19, and it's just not as good.
Okay.
So it's a good IPA. I mean, 375 is a great rating for me. But yeah, I'm gonna do the last sip here, and I'm gonna finish this out at 375.
I'm staying at 4.
That was really bad. I just said last sip, and then I'm on video saying it was my last sip, and I've got one. That was actually 2.
You're on video right there. No.
Continuity, man. Gotta have it.
Let's see. So I'm going on to the UnTappd app right now. If you don't know what UnTappd is, how dare you? UnTappd is the Facebook, as we say, of. Wait a second. I've had this before. I had this on draft back in July of 2015.
Well, this is all sham.
Well, did you look at that? See, and this is
that's
why
hilarious. I've done that several times, because I mean, who can keep track of 200, 300, 400, whatever plus beers are checked in? I mean, yeah, you can remember a lot of them, but
man,
you're not going to remember every single one.
That was really just the time I was getting really into craft beer. Like we had just bought all the gear, start brewing and everything like that. So, and I had it on draft at a local pizza place. So,
here's my UnTappd check-in as well. I think I'm on the right camera, or we can do this camera.
You're right. You're good.
Okay, this camera.
So I rated it a 4 then. So
wow. Well, you're consistent anyway.
I'm consistent anyway. I'm gonna have to take a picture so I can keep my picture badge going here.
Oh yeah, I don't do that very often. I should do that.
You should do that. You should do that.
Well, here, I'll just edit it and add.
So if you're not on UnTappd, then I don't know what the hell you're doing. Get on UnTappd. It is a great way to track your beers. I use it a lot too. Even today, before I went over to Beer Bazaar, which is a great craft brewery place here in in the Round Lake area. It's in Haynesville actually. Their menu or what they have is listed on UnTappd. So I checked it first to make sure they had Two Hearted in stock. Seriously, what's your problem?
Seriously, no, my flash went off. I don't know. Just
on UnTappd, then why aren't you following us? I am TallDogBeer.
And I am Cadillac 907, just like the car. I do not like Cadillacs. I say this every week.
I just got 2 new badges. I got the unlocked badge for verified venues. I'm a level 2 there. And then I also got the photogenic badge.
Ooh, look at you, all photogenic.
Photogenic.
Jeez, and here I am, the good-looking one, and you got a photogenic badge.
Well, you're good looking until we take our pants off, and then who's good looking now, bitch? So that is a good beer. I like that. I probably will have another one before I go to bed. As a good night beer.
Good night.
But see, the whole thing is, I wanted a unique check-in. I have a total of 401 beers with 317 unique.
I have, excuse me, something in the neighborhood of 300. I have 369 total and 278 unique. But I found this app later than many people.
Yeah, I am actually, and I also, if you do follow us on Twitter.
What's a tweeter?
What's Twitter? Beerded Hops, BEERD. Beerded Hops. I actually linked up my UnTappd to our Twitter, so whenever I drink it, you'll see it there. So
I saw that. I don't know how to do that. I saw that you had a Twitter link.
Yeah,
but I haven't figured that out yet. I'm a little less.
You're socially awkward.
Socially challenged.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm a little less socially challenged. I am more socially challenged than Adam is when it comes to this stuff.
Socially inept. I don't know if that's the right word.
I mean, I'm a social guy. I love hanging out with everybody, but when it comes to the computer stuff, I got a little bit. It's left to be desired there, I think.
So if you want to catch any of our old shows, 4 other shows that are old now, any of our older shows, previous episodes, shall we say, beerdedhops.com is the place to go to get all the links there. You can find us pretty much anywhere at this point. We are on iTunes, Google Play. We are on Stitcher. We are on TuneIn, Pocket Casts, all those different places. We'll have us SoundCloud. We are there on SoundCloud as well. And of course, the links to all of it is, if you have any complaints about the show, you didn't like something that we did, you can always email us at chad@beerdedhops.com. If you have any compliments, you want to send us some beer, you just want to say how sexy that beard that Adam has on his face is, you can always email it adam@beerdedhops.com.
Yeah, so I'm curious at this point, because I don't have any emails about complaints. So we're doing great. Do you have any emails about love?
I got no, I don't have emails. I do have a text message and a Facebook post about how good we are. So
yeah, there is some stuff out there on social media where people are starting to like us. So it's a good thing.
I'll go ahead and call it out. I'll say it. Dan, my friend since we were kids, he texted me.
Dan, what up, Dan?
Yeah, Dan down in Texas. He messaged me this week. He said he listened to episode 2. He enjoyed it. You guys are entertaining, funny, a good pair. We make a good pair, Chad.
That was a very nice compliment, Dan. We love you, man. I can't wait till you come back up north.
No, that'll be fun. And Chad, I'm going to give you an advance warning. I'm about to ask you to keep the kids entertained while I find the other compliment we got on Facebook. So, Chad, keep the kids entertained.
I will do that. I have something here that I would bring up. We were going to bring up anyway, but one little story here that is interesting because Dogfish Head brewery that's fairly well known around the country. I think about from their IPAs. They've got a new beer coming out that is it's the first of its kind, called a survival beer made with
Oh, that's right. Forgot about it.
nutrient-packed superfoods.
Yeah, I
And these
forgot
guys-
about that.
Yeah, these guys at Dogfish Head, they're paving the way for all kinds of new shit. So
Well, I think also it is the fact that Trump's in office and they're ready for the world just to come to an end. Anyway, sorry, no politics. Go ahead. So Dogfish has released their first.
I was going to make a
kind
comment about
survival
James
beer.
Dobson, but I'll keep that to myself.
Nutrient packed superfood, which is that sounds interesting.
Yeah, they had this beer tested. The name of the beer is interesting. The End of the Wort, as we know it,
Words,
which I think is awesome. The
it has a
End of the Wort, as we know it.
Did you see it has a deep purple and hazy in color?
I know. I
It's
want
a
to try
Belgian
this
style
thing
fruit ale.
just to
Chock
try
full
it.
of essential amino acids, micronutrients, and vitamins. Where can we get one?
I know. I'm sure it'll be around. I mean, Dogfish Head's pretty much everywhere. It contains more than 8 times the amount of vitamin B complex than one of America's best-selling light lagers, which we probably
What
know
are you talking about? Huh? Bud
who
Light?
that is. Including over 90% of the daily recommended serving of folic acid.
That's crazy.
I mean, a survival beer? Seriously? And it's sold in a 750 ml bottle. That's pretty awesome.
So they blended a intensely fruity, is how they're wording it, mixture of blueberries, is it acacia, and goji berries, along with an assortment of ingredients including purple sweet potatoes, rose hips, the hips don't lie, chai seed, flax seeds, spelt oats, and
Nice Shakira reference.
thank you very much, and quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yes, 750 mil. We'll have to find this. It does have a 9% ABV. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. You've got all these nutrients to help you survive and keep going, but you've got 9% ABV in a 750 ml bottle. So you're going to be like, I'm just going and I don't care.
Right. If it's the end of the world, I want to go out drunk. So
It's the end of the wort.
whatever. If it's the end, I want to get drunk. When does this say when it hits stores? Is it already?
It's in third. It says it's they sell. Let's see. That's just what they currently sell.
January 27th.
Yeah, I thought it was this month. Yeah.
The first of its
January
kind
27th.
beer release will be available beginning January 27th at 11 a.m. as an ultra limited. Damn, we're not going to be able to get one. Only 200 packages. Only 200 bottles released.
Let me see if I got anybody out east that can
Hook it
get
up.
one of these for us.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool to
Yeah. I know
be able to drink.
I know two guys out east that are big time beer drinkers, buddies of mine. John and Mike, if you're listening, you know who you are. If you can get me a Dogfish Head, it's the end of the wort as we know it.
He will pretty much do
Stop right there. Stop.
almost the same thing he did to the guy that gave him the CBS.
Which was nothing except for say, holy shit, I can't believe you're going to sell this to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna make a note of that, and we'll see if we can get some.
Yes. That would be very cool. And then just one final note, just because, and the only reason I mentioned them is because they are making the Game of Thrones beer. But it must be a good deal for them. I don't know. I have yet to find out how much they paid for the license from HBO for the Game of Thrones beer.
Wait a minute.
What?
We're talking about Dogfish Head.
No, I'm switching topics.
Not Omega.
I'm switching topics.
Oh, we're going to new topic.
God bless it.
This way we work so well together.
You guys are great together. You guys are really good. That guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he's really good. Oh, Cadillac. For those of you not watching, he just flipped me off. I'm a gang. I'm the gang. I'm a gang. Whatever it is. Apparently, HBO's been good to them because they're expanding now.
Yeah, so Game of Thrones beers is paying off.
They have nearly 80,000 visitors a year. 40% of those visit between June and August. Wow.
I can't imagine what
That
that place would
kids.
look like during those months. Those 3 months just gotta be nuts.
So they're going to be completing a $525,000. Wait. Let me read back. Aiding in the renovation and marketing of the brewery once the renovation is complete. Oh, okay. In addition to, is a $525,000 grant that they received in December from the state's Economic Development Council. Well, look at you guys. The grant's designated for time. Nobody cares about that shit. I was going to thought it was going to be better before I started saying it. But it is a $2 million renovation. And it looks like it's going to have a store, tasting room, cafe, additional seating in the cafe, tables, patio, outdoor seating, all-weather pavilion. Where are they? Are they in
Cooperstown? Cooperstown.
Yeah.
New York.
New York. We need to go there. 136-acre farmstead.
I think it'd be awesome.
Man, we got a lot of places to go. I don't know.
I know. We got to probably quit our jobs and just travel and drink beer.
Okay. Done.
And on that note.
And on that note, I can hear the divorce papers being filed right now. And that's it. So are we done? Is that show 5 in the bag?
I think so. Yeah, gentlemen and the few ladies that are listening, thank you for joining us.
Definitely thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Definitely, if you've had or are going to have the Bells Two Hearted, definitely let us know what you think. Hit us up on all the social medias, the Facebooks, the Twitters, all that stuff, and let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, we're around. UnTappd, send us an email. Did we do emails?
We did. Yeah, all the bad stuff goes to you, good stuff goes to me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But also, if any of you would want to join us, just hit us up on our Facebook group or Twitter, and we can try to make those arrangements and get you on the list for a win. And one other announcement I should make here.
You know what? Real quick. You know what we could do?
What could we do?
On those podcasts while we're live is say, hey, we're live. And just, even if people can't join us by talking, just message us while we're talking on Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Could do that too.
Comments, and we'll talk with you through social media.
Yeah, we could do that too. So we did say that Chad is going to be traveling for the next 2 weeks. And so we are going to have a guest because I'm going to get lonely. I don't know how you think you're going to leave me for 2 weeks, and I'm not going to get lonely. So
I'm sorry, but I have to make some money.
I know. Got to pay for daddy's shoes. Adrian joining me for at least one, if not two. And hopefully we're going to be tasting some North Carolina beers.
That'll be awesome.
Rating those. So I did ask him to send us some extra North Carolina beers so that you and I could review those, because then I'll have them when you get back and you come see me and you can take some with you. And then we'll have some
I want
extra
wherever you guys
beers to check out. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. Whatever you guys end up reviewing, I'm hoping to be able to experience them after the fact. So I look forward to listening to what you guys have to say in my absence. I think it'll be a good time. So,
and if any of you guys have a beer that you're like, dude, you guys have got to try this, let us know what that is. We will try to get a hold of it. If we can't, we might be just emailing you back going, okay, if it's that good, send it our way. Come on. And we'll give it a shot. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining and subscribing. And we will see you next time. So long. Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. See you later.
You can wave. They can see you wave.
Oh yeah. Bye, tubers of the U.
Tubers of the U. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
You gone? Did you go somewhere? Am I all by myself? Because you're frozen. All by myself. Chad left me and I'm all by myself. Marco Poloing. Chad left me and I'm all by myself. All I see is Chad. Frozen at the bottom of my screen. I'm all by myself because Chad has left me because he's a dick. Chad is a dick. I'm on my screen. I'm all by myself because Chad has left me because he's a dick. I'm so glad I haven't stopped recording. That's going to be the intro to show 6 because you're not going to be here. So I'm just going to intro that the Chad has left me because he's a dick.
Well, I don't know what happened.
And all of a sudden, like your little, like the screen went black, but the little like whatever icon of you in the corner was just frozen.
Yeah,
Like,
and
right,
this camera shut off, and like everything went blank.
Computer's like, all right, I'm enough of this shit. Shitty ass show.
Now everything's back.
Dumbass beer show.
Oh, I shouldn't have that mic.
Well, now you're just completely muted yourself completely, and I can't hear you at all. You're a mess.